10 important signs your husband is seeing someone else. The idea of marriage is a lovely union of a man and a woman who are deeply in love, and it really is. Yet, all it really needs is a few staples to be, lovely and prosperous. Most important among them is loyalty. Not only does the wife want to be treated like the only woman in the world, but she also wants her husband to believe that she is the only woman in the world. Think of every other female as a male. That's the unspoken rule of loyalty for married men. It's hard because there are so many attractive ladies, some of whom he probably works with closely. Marriage remains beautiful until you start questioning your husband's loyalty. Have you lately entered a relationship that was once wonderful but is now making you feel insecure? Are you beginning to wonder if your spouse is seeing someone else since his behavior seems so strange? Well, I have meticulously compiled a list of the key indicators, the surest sign that you should be aware of if he is seeing someone else. Hello beautiful, welcome back to Female Affairs with Folu, where everything related to women is discussed. Consider subscribing and turn on the post notification bell to be notified when a new video drops. So, beautiful people, let's start with the lists. Number 1, he is always on his phone. When his phone is always with him, even in the most impossible situation, you may wonder if something is up. Calm down. This is not a surefire sign. As my dad always says, mobile phones are called mobile for a reason. You are supposed to have them on you at all times. If your husband spends so much time on his phone, it doesn't necessarily mean that he is seeing someone else. It's not weird that people carry their phones with them everywhere, because in this world you could miss the update of a lifetime by just being offline for a few minutes. He may be reading the news, following the trend on Twitter. I'm not sure I would ever get used to calling it X. Watching TikTok videos, playing games, or tracking the crypto markets. It only starts becoming a sign that he is seeing someone else when he is constantly texting and receiving private calls that can be answered in your presence. He is constantly smiling at his phone while texting someone else, and whenever you ask him who he is chatting with, he gives you very vague replies like someone, a friend, or my co-worker. He may even get defensive if it looks like you are suspicious of him. All these are signs that he may be seeing someone else. To test your theory, try to pick up his phone one day and just notice his reaction. If he reacts with alarm or panic, it's a sign that something he doesn't want you to see is happening on his phone. Number 2 is he is too conscious of his appearance. Wow. This is easier to discover if your husband is someone who doesn't usually take too much notice of his appearance. And the truth is that many married men are like this. They just open their closets, and wear the first thing they lay their hands on. If you begin to notice that your husband has been taking time to plan his outfits, you may be feeling impressed. Perhaps he is trying to dress well for you, but he is not just planning outfits, he is also making sure that he has the right kind of haircut and put on the right cologne. It's not like he is even doing it when he goes out with you, because he's too busy these days to spend time with you on a date. You may need to start thinking that he is not doing it to impress you, because what's the essence of impressing someone in our absence? The fact that he is suddenly making a conscious effort to look good is a sign that he is seeing someone else. Number 3, he avoids intimacy. Intimacy is one of the pillars of successful relationship, and when it is taken away, the relationship begins to crumble. You will know something is wrong when your man begins to avoid intimacy with you, like you have the plague. While sex is not the only form of intimacy, it will be a mistake for you to consider it unimportant. Most married couples who have been together for many years often make this mistake. They feel like after some years, passion should be replaced by just being comfortable with your partner. Couples are meant to be romantic and passionately intimate, regardless of how long they have been together. If you notice that your husband is either avoiding you or being rigid during sex, it's a sign that something is off. If he completely avoids intimacy with you, he is probably seeing someone else and getting satisfaction from the other woman. Number 4, he is secretive. No relationship requires full disclosure more than marriage. Couples are expected to be open with each other. If you notice that your husband is becoming secretive, this may be because he actually has something to hide. He avoids being transparent about his whereabouts and his finances. He goes out and returns at will without even giving you an inkling of where he is going and what he is doing. Even his phone is heavily protected by layers of passwords, and he still deletes his text message and call history. This is not so related, but a friend just told me how he checked his girlfriend's phone and went through a chat with her lover. He was done within a few minutes because his girlfriend usually clear all his messages to avoid being discovered by the main boyfriend. My friend thought he was exclusive. My friend thought he was exclusively dating this girl without realizing that he was actually the other guy outside a relationship. Number 5, it becomes defensive. With all the weird activities you are already noticing, it will be very hard not to ask questions. Honey, who is calling you in the middle of the night? Questions like this are surely going to be met by a defensive reply if your husband is seeing someone else. Even innocent questions about his day, work, and the welfare of his friends may still instigate this response because he may be thinking that they are trick questions. When your husband gets defensive all the time, it is a sign that he is hiding something, and that something may just be the other woman. Number 6, he doesn't spend time with you. Does your husband suddenly seem to have a lot of work to do that he rarely comes home? He always stays at work overnight or spend the weekend making a deal with a client. Does he seem to travel more in recent times than ever before? All these are signs that something is going on with your husband. He may even just prefer spending time alone or with friends. When your husband begins to exhibit these characteristics, especially in combination with some of the others I've mentioned earlier, it is a sign that he is seeing someone else. Number 7 on my list, he talks of another woman all the time. Most times, men think they have been coded with their affections. They think they don't let their feelings show. That's wrong. Men wear their hearts on their sleeves. And if your husband is seeing someone else, he may talk about her all the time. Of course, he won't say he's seeing her on the side, but if he seems to talk about a friend, co-worker, or client so much, she may be the someone else he is seeing. If he is thinking about someone so much that he always finds ways to mention her, it is safe to say that he may be interested in her or even seeing her already. Number 8, he spends too much. Men often give gifts to women they love. Some of these gifts may be really expensive. I am saying this because I notice that most men believe they can impress women with the cost of gifts rather than the amount of thought put into choosing them. So he's probably buying expensive gifts for the other woman, and the evidence of this may be those incredibly high credit card bills. He may also be going on expensive dates with her. Besides the gifts, dinner at an exclusive restaurant, a weekend trip to the beach, the expensive hotel suite, all this culminates into those exorbitant credit card bills you are receiving. Number 9, he suddenly has new hobbies. You may have spent so many years convincing your partner to get a new hobby to no avail. He probably prefers watching a game of soccer over the weekend to joining a book club or the Scrabble club. Then he suddenly develops an interest in something new like golfing, tennis, or a book club. You may be happy about this change at first, but if it is in combination with other signs I mentioned earlier, your relationship may be in big danger. You don't just pick up a new hobby and interest randomly. Hobbies are meant to be shared with someone. If your husband has new hobbies and interests, he is probably sharing them with someone else, especially when they are not activities that you are interested in. Number 10, he accuses you of cheating. This is the wildest sign that he is seeing someone else. However, several cheating men do this. When a man is seeing someone else, he may conclude that you could be doing the same thing. He begins to have attacks of insecurity and may confront you about your supposed cheating. Of course, you will try to prove that you're not cheating on him, but with your actions under intense scrutiny, you will end up overlooking his suspicious actions. What do you do when you confirm that your husband is seeing someone else? The choice is yours. However, you should not ever attempt to attack the other woman. It is your husband who betrayed you, not the other woman. At this point, you can now decide whether you want to forgive a cheating husband or move on. The choice is yours. That's a wrap for today. If you enjoy watching, kindly like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share with others. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.